Hello violinists, welcome to Pro Am Strings. I'm Henriette and today is day 36 of the Virtual Violin Practice Playalong. I can't quite believe it myself, we've been going for 36 days. So thank you so much for joining me here today and for keeping going all that time. Today we're going to consolidate a lot of techniques that we've learned in the past. We're going to go back to our marty bowing and make it that little bit better from before. And then we're going to continue with our vibrato practice. And we're also developing our string crossings even further. And then we're going to carry on with our improvisation. So stay tuned right till the end of this video because there is lots of good stuff to come. Let's go and get started straight away. So let's first tune up your violin. Here is your A. Your E string. Here is D. Now when we play our tuning in double stops, I want you to really concentrate on how you are listening to these notes, and I want you to listen out for how these two notes seem to melt together if your violin's properly tuned. Here we go, A and E. A and D. Lovely, well done. So today we're going to do our bow squeezing, and I want you just to refresh your memory on how that felt when you squeeze the bow, and I want you to check today that you're squeezing your thumb as much as your fingers, so everything gets bent and then everything gets straightened. Remember, if you find that very difficult to do, which it is if you have your bow horizontally, remember you can also do this vertically, so do your version which feels the best for your hand today. So move your bow up while you squeeze the bow and move your bow down as you release it and straighten your fingers. Squeeze as you go up and release it as you go down. Now focus on your thumb for a moment. Is your thumb also bending and straightening? Great. And whether you do it like this or sideways and just squeezing and releasing your bow, it doesn't really matter, you get the same out of it. Now that squeezing movement is what we need when we're going to play our marty bow strokes, and today I suggest we're just going to play some open G's. So we're going to start in the middle, and because in marty you play on the upper half of the bow, and we're going to squeeze the bow at the start, so squeeze the bow onto the string and then let go very suddenly while you start moving, and then we'll stop again and squeeze the bow again at the end of your bow stroke. Off you go, and put the pressure back on. And now release the pressure and start moving, and see if you can time it right. And stop it. And again. Lovely. Now this time I want you to double check that your right shoulder is in its lowest position. Your elbow is correct for the G string level. Okay, and then we'll try it again. Have you got your nice stance? Ready? And squeeze, release and start moving straight away. Well done, very good. One more time, and we're now going to focus on our timing. So are you releasing the pressure and starting moving exactly at the same time? And now let's go a little bit quicker. And awesome. That is a very, very good martelé bowing practice. Superb. So your bowing exercise has a tick for today. Well done, you've done that one. Now today we're going to continue our vibrato exercises. And if you're just new to learning vibrato, then please go back to our sliding and then putting your super glue on and trying to keep it going. Remember always, that goes for any level of vibrato practice that you're at. Your knuckles should be level with the strings and your elbow should be under the violin. We can't really play vibrato when your elbow is like that. So bring it under, and whatever level you're at, make sure that you're going to be playing your vibrato really evenly. So be careful that you don't go fast one moment and slow the next. Now, if you are already more advanced, pick a note. I'm having this one and I'm going to go straight in with the bow. And while you do that, we're going to play very slowly. So here we go. And if you can keep it going, let's go twice as fast now. Good, and now let it go. And excellent. Give your arm a really well-deserved rest before we start on the next finger. So this very much depends on the level that you're at with your vibrato. If you're a beginner, you'd be very, very wise to stick with the sliding first and then start rolling. Okay, and when you're anywhere between a beginner and an advanced person, see if you can put your bow with it. Now we're going to play our next finger, whatever finger that may be for you. I'm having the same note. And awesome. Now let's go twice as fast. If you're getting the shakes, that's quite normal, and you might find that you're playing like this. Suddenly faster and slower. Go back a step if that's you, if that happens to you. Just go back to the slow practice and see if you can relax into this movement. That's it. And as I've said many times in the past, vibrato you can't learn by putting more hours in. You want to just let it arrive. And if your muscle tone isn't yet ready for vibrato, it won't come. So allow it time to develop so that you can relax more into your left hand, especially here your upper arm. We don't want it to be too tight. If you can let go there, you will then develop your vibrato much more quickly. But it isn't a matter of, I have now learnt it for half an hour and why is it not coming? You've got to relax into it and then it will come, which is quite a different approach to our everyday life, isn't it? Our everyday life is very often work harder so you achieve more, and in violin playing it's quite the opposite often. Work less hard and it will come to you. Okay, so there's quite a different policy there, quite a different philosophy also. Okay, let's have your next finger. I can't remember which finger I'm at, so let me have the third finger. Slowly does it, here we go, and if you can, let it go. And relax your left arm. So you see how we're coming back to that relaxation all the time. I've got one finger left, that's my little finger, depending on which order of fingers you did. It might be, will be a different finger for you, so slowly at first. Let it go. Awesome. Well done. That was very, very good practice. But don't worry, as I've said so many times, if it's not coming to you today, it may come tomorrow or next week or in 6 weeks' time. So give it the time that it needs to appear suddenly, and it will do, I promise you. Now, next up is another bow exercise, and we're going to continue with our string crossings. 2 different types of string crossings. The first one with our elbow and the second one with our clockwise wrist circles. Okay, we're doing the same exercise as we've done the last couple of days. So here we go, and wondering, when do I use the elbow string crossing and when do I use the wrist string crossing? If I've got lots of repeated notes and they might go a little bit faster, that's when I use my wrist. So they're much smaller movements. If I want to play a slow note, a long note, and I want to stress it, that's when I'm changing with my elbow. So you perhaps noticed this. So you get a bigger, much bigger movement, much stronger sound as well, and also much more emphasis on your note. So it's all much more powerful, but I can't put so much powerful work in if I play very fast. Then I need to make my movements smaller. In other words, use smaller muscle groups. Okay, so not so much arm, but a bit of wrist, and you can imagine what comes next. My next smallest muscle group is my fingers. So you need to dose the string crossings according to what your music requires you to do and how you want to perform your music. So it's very much a performance direction as well. Now, let's come back to our legato bowing as we always do, because it's the most important bowing in my view. in the whole of violin playing. So let's find our correct stance with our left foot forward slightly, so our legs are really nice and loose and flexible. Check out your shoulders, are they in their lowest position? And now we're going to do very, very long, heavy bows into the string. And we can only play heavy bows into the string if your violin sits properly on your shoulder and is a good surface for the bow to play on. So be careful that you don't twist forward like that and let your violin disappear below that bow, you see. So you want to see that your violin is a good base to play on with your bow. G major scale, here we go. And how your bowing is developing your tone quality all the time. So well done for working on that time and time again. Now, since we've practiced martelé bowing, let's play a G major arpeggio with a martelé bow stroke. So we're using the upper half of the bow and again. For some reason, I must always finish legato. There you go. All right, let's do some improvising now. Now, our improvisation today is going to be G major, D major, G major. So I can also call it by its more professional name 1, 5, 1. G major has got 1 sharp. D major has got 2 sharps. So the extra sharp that you get in D major is, I'm hoping you know this now, the C sharp. So you must use the C sharp in your middle section. And then we're back at the end of our 3-part improvisation in G major. So we're taking away that C sharp because G major has only got 1 sharp for its key signature, namely the F sharp. So you must not play that C sharp in your last section of your improvisation, otherwise you're still in the key of D major. That's okay if that happens, because you just pretend you make your D major section twice as long and you always have another opportunity to stick G major at the end, you see. Now today is our final day that we're going to be quite free as to the length of our improvisation is concerned, and from the next week onwards we're going to go back into a certain number of bars. Okay, so feel free to expand on your improvisation today. So you're not restricted into the length of any section. Okay, so what I would like you to try, however, is to stick with our keys, obviously, and then add some performance directions: staccato, legato, playing forte, loud, or piano, soft, adding special effects, and if you can, try and add some sequencing again. So I'll give you an example, and then I'll let you go and improvise for the rest of your day or evening, depending on when you're playing this. So I'll give you an example and I'll let you improvise freely after that. So here we go. I'm starting in G. You have a go. So well done, well done. I'm sorry if I'm interrupting you. Just pause this video because I'm just going to round off this practice, but feel free to do lots more improvising because I'm hoping you have gained some more freedom now in your improvisation and you can carry on for quite a while. So that is a good thing, isn't it? If it's not yet coming for you, that's okay. I'll take you by the hand and we'll do it together in our next couple of lessons. So please stick with me and you will get better, I'm sure. So, however, if you are on a roll, keep rolling, keep going on and explore all these different aspects that we have discussed. Well done for taking it so far and thank you so much for turning up here day after day. I'm delighted that so many people do. So thank you very much. And I very much look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.